All right, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me or not. I think there are 3 people on here right now, and if any of you can hear me, please let me know. I'm a little sick right now, so please excuse my hoarse voice. That's why I haven't put out any videos about this severe weather event or about this winter storm. So we can take a look right now, and we've got 2 tornado warnings here that are approaching the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or the Dallas metro area. There is a moderate risk for severe weather right now. How's it going, Michael Williamson? How's it going, weather dude? Okay, cool. I was actually about to type in chat and ask if you guys could hear me. So we've got 2 tornado warnings here coming toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Actually, let me really quickly pull up GIS system, road controls. Here we go. I'm going to pull up primary roads here, which are just the highways. So we have these 2 tornado warnings here coming toward, they're headed in the direction of the Highway 35 West near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're going to take a look at reflectivity here, or sorry, base velocity here, and we can see the rotation is fairly weak. We have basically, I'm assuming that what the rotation that they're looking at here is this area where we have an intense amount of wind, and then coupled with a less strong wind gust. They're both blowing in the same direction, which is toward the radar site. But what I'm assuming is happening is that because they've got a difference in speeds, they're actually causing some localized rotation there, which is why they are taking a look at that. Excuse me. We'll take a look at reflectivity again here. I'm trying to see if I can find any inflow notches. The difficult part about looking at these is that when you've got embedded tornadoes within a squall line, it's kind of difficult to see because you've got very powerful winds all coming from one direction, and all it needs to do is interact with some winds that aren't as strong to create a little area of rotation. We have some severe thunderstorm warnings down here to the south. This entire squall line is headed toward the Dallas area. Down here to the south, we can see that, well, actually, let's see if we can find any. This system right here, this part of the squall line, is headed to the north-northeast, and it'll be at Hamilton. This should all be in Central Time, so it'll be there at 5:35 Central Time and 5:56 Central Time. In fact, I might actually just reload everything to ensure that I get the proper times. I'm going to do that here. Give me just a second. I'm going to switch over to my waiting screen really quickly, and then I'll be right back as soon as I fix the whole time thing. Okay, guys, and we are back. Everything should be in Central Time now. Fingers crossed it is. Yes, here we go. Okay, 5:18 Central Time. In Granbury, this is a tornado-warned storm. We can take a look here. These are everything that's on that is warned at the moment. I believe is not observed. This one, for whatever reason, doesn't have anything in the text. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so everything right now is radar indicated rotation or storms that are capable of producing a tornado. It's going okay. Are there any confirmed tornadoes? We can take a look. You're not going to be able to see my screen right now. I've got it I've got it only on WSV3 at the moment. So we're gonna take a look at storm reports here. There are 2 reports of tornadoes, one of which is confirmed, and it was in Cherokee, Oklahoma, Cherokee County, Oklahoma. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings down here. If I had to guess, these are going to be for wind gusts and not hail. Let's see here. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. Quarter-sized hail isn't technically severe. It can cause damage, do not get me wrong, but really an inch in diameter is what qualifies for a severe thunderstorm warning. Down here as well, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar-sized hail. This half-dollar-sized hail is likely part of the reason why this was triggered, because I believe half dollar is considered a severe thunderstorm. We still have these 2 tornado warnings in effect, neither of which are confirmed. Oh, spotters have reported a funnel cloud on this northern tornado warning here, moving toward Interstate 35 west, just south of Interstate 20 here. Headed toward the Fort Worth area in the Dallas metro. Just got a flash flood warning. Yeah, so there's a lot of rain associated with this system. We are actually also currently under a flood. We're under a flood watch. It wouldn't surprise me if we were under a flood warning, or flash flood warning, with the amount of rain that we've been getting. Oh no, apparently not. There are a couple flash flood warnings though, all down through here along this main squall line, which if I go ahead and switch it off of this and head to the national radar, excuse me, you can see just the extent of the squall line. Okay, here's another tornado warning in Arkansas. We're going to head back over to the high resolution radar here, and we're going to take it off of, not watches, flash flood warning, just because that kind of clutters the screen. We are going to move to the Tulsa, Oklahoma radar site. And we're going to see what we can see. The newest scan is coming through. It's taking a minute to get here, though. One of those tornado warnings, the one that was to the south, has gone away. It's expired. There was no funnel cloud or tornado observed, but this northern one here, there was a funnel cloud observed. Here we go. We got this part of the squall line moving through here. Excuse me. The hazards are tornado and quarter-sized hail. There's radar indicated rotation. We'll take a look at base velocity here. There is this little area of green right inside, and we'll take a look at reflectivity as well. Just in this area, just to the east of Fayetteville and to the southwest of Goshen. If you live in Goshen, take shelter because there may be a tornado on the ground. It has not been observed. However, that does not mean that there is not one there. We're going to turn on live scan as well. We're going to head back down here because that rotation is only radar indicated. So we're going to come back down here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and take a look at this tornado warning here, because that could be, there was a funnel cloud that was observed, which means that this could produce a tornado. This has a history of producing a funnel cloud back near Talar, which if we can find Talar, where is it? Oh, okay, so it actually produced a funnel cloud not too far from where it currently is. We will take a look at velocity really quickly. What is in here? Okay, so it is definitely in this little core right here. That's the wrong angle. Here we go. We'll take a look at velocity again. It is in this area where we would find said funnel cloud. We're going to go to correlation coefficient just to make sure there are no debris. So far, there isn't any, which is good news. This is still headed toward that Fort Worth area. This will be reaching Granbury at 5:23 p.m. So if you live in Granbury, you need to be in your safe space. If you know anybody that lives there, they need to be in their tornado shelters. Fayetteville is the location of and is heavily populated. Well, they probably have tornado sirens going off right now since, well, actually, this is moving out of Fayetteville, and it's moving to the northeast. In Huntsville, Berryville, Goshen, you are all in the path of this storm. If we take a look here at the track, Goshen, it'll be there at 5:14 p.m. Hinesville, it'll be there at 5:22 p.m. Huntsville, 5:28 p.m. Green Forest, 5:53 p.m. and Alpena, probably Alpena, at 6 p.m. And this is all in Central Time. We will go ahead and take a look down here at this Fort Smith radar. And we'll see what's going on up here again. Forgive me, guys. The scans are taking a little while to come in. Let's take a look here. Come on. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Okay, here we are. So we'll take a look at this again. Still capable of producing a tornado. It's only radar indicated rotation. There are no there have been no reports of a tornado. That does not mean that there's not one on the ground. It just means that nobody has observed it yet. Could just be in a kind of remote area, although if it's near Fayetteville, then you would think that somebody might be there to see it. We do have a lot of range folding here, though, so I may move over here to this Tulsa radar site, because it appears to be doing a better job than this Fort Smith radar site. How's it going, Colin? Okay, here we are. So let's take a look here. We still do have this little embedded area of rotation, just here, almost due east of Fayetteville. Oh, wait, it just updated. Yeah, due east of Fayetteville near Goshen. This is where we are most likely going to see that that rotation. If it would stop, please stop. I would like to have my probe. There we go. So we've got some outgoing winds, and then we have these little specks of incoming winds, which are likely anomalies. They're likely not anything, but we'll take a look at reflectivity again. And this squall line is pushing to the northeast, and so if we take a look at the storm track, Goshen, 5:16 p.m. It'll be there in 8 minutes, so make sure you are in your tornado shelter. Hinesville, 5:25 p.m. Huntsville, 5:30 p.m. We'll come back down here to the south. It looks like that tornado warning down here expired, which is good news because that was approaching a heavily populated area. Yeah, so that tornado warning did expire. That storm did produce a funnel cloud down here near Tolar just a short time ago. And so it looks like that rotation is beginning to fall apart. So that's good news. It means that as this moves toward the Fort Worth area, we just got to hope that that stays. It remains the case that there is no more rotation. We still have some severe thunderstorm warnings down here to the south. This is mostly for wind, although these more southern storms that are popping up. There is a meso discussion for this area, and it probably has to do with hail, because some of these storms that are popping up on the southern edge of the squall are definitely capable of producing some hail. But since that tornado warning has gone away, we will focus on these. Actually, there's another tornado warning up here near Springfield, so we'll come over this way and take a look at it. Jacob, I'm assuming that that's in Missouri, because that's the only new tornado warning we've got so far, unless this is just really, really old data, which would surprise me. We do have a segment of this squall line here that's bowing out, and so this severe thunderstorm warning that's encasing that tornado warning is probably to do with wind gusts. I would say probably 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Okay, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. But we do have this little bow front here, which can have embedded cells inside of it. We'll take a look at base velocity here. It's kind of hard to see. I'm gonna really quickly switch my color palette, because I'm having trouble seeing where are we here? Is this it? No, that is not it. Okay. I'm just trying to find the default velocity palette here. I don't remember what the name of it is, which could be a problem. Great. Okay, well, yeah, I have no idea which palette it is, so we're just going to go back to that original palette that we had on there. It'll have to do for now. It's not very good at picking up rotation, which is why I wanted to switch it, but nonetheless, it's better than this one here. Where are we? Gate to gate shear. It's called Barron level 2 velocity. There we go. Okay, so we're back on it now. We have 2 tornado warnings here, one just to the south, almost due south of Springfield, just south of Highway 44 here, approaching Crane and Hurley. This will be at Hurley at 5:24 p.m. Central Time, and at Nixa at 5:48 Central Time. So if you live in either of those areas, take shelter. We can take a look here and see if this... Okay, it's just a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, which means it's only radar indicated rotation as of right now. But that does not mean that there's not a tornado on the ground. And you'll hear me repeat that statement, and it's just because it's true. Just because you don't, just because nobody has seen a tornado does not mean that one is not there. It could be rain wrapped because this is a very high precipitation area right now. So that is a possibility. So far, there has been one confirmed tornado from these events, and it happened in Cherokee County, Oklahoma, at 2051. I don't know if that's Z or if that's or UTC or if that is Central Time. I assume not Central Time because it has not been 10 o'clock yet. So we'll say, sorry, it has not been 8 o'clock yet. So 20 UTC to CST. That happened at 2 p.m. today, so 3 hours ago. How's it going, King Isaac? So currently 2 tornado warnings still. We'll take a look at this one and see if anything has happened. Still just thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes here. I checked on severestudios.com, and so far I've only seen one chaser who's actually chasing at the moment. We'll look again. That doesn't mean that they're the only ones that are chasing. It just means that, okay, there are 2 right now that are chasing in, that are at least live streaming in Texas. Did that tornado warning come back? Still showing a tornado warning here. But I'm not seeing a tornado warning on here. Can anybody check some other... Actually, let me check Radar Scope really quickly and see if there is still a tornado warning there. Because if there is, that's a problem, because WSV3 is not showing a tornado warning for that area when it should be. Okay, no, we're good. We are good. Okay, so we'll move up here and take a look at these 2 tornado warnings again. Still just radar indicated rotation, which is a good thing. And once the scan comes through, we will take a look at velocity again. very difficult figuring out where this rotation is. That's why I was trying to change color palettes earlier, but of course that didn't work. What I'm assuming is going on is these winds are here moving to the north-northeast, pushing into this radar site, and these winds are pushing also to the north-northeast, or maybe they're just pushing due north and causing little local areas of rotation along this line here. If that's the case, that can also produce a tornado, and that would make sense as to why there is a tornado warning in this area. As for down here, we're too far away to actually determine anything. We'll head back to the Fort Smith radar just to make sure. Yeah, I was just making sure that, Dan, I was just making sure that there wasn't, because I was checking, what was it called? Live Storm or Sphere Studios, and it's, for whatever reason, their map is still showing a tornado warning there, when there is not one there currently. Currently, the only two people that are live streaming and chasing, one is in the Fort Worth area, about to intercept that storm that produced the funnel cloud near Granbury, and actually it was closer to what was that town called? Tulare. But we'll come back up here to take a look at what we can see. Currently still have radar indicated rotation here. I don't see this tornado warning going away anytime soon. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings around these tornado warnings, and they are due to wind. At 4:53 p.m. Central Standard Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Marionville to 12 miles southwest of Crane, to 8 miles east of Cassville, to 13 miles east of Exeter, to near Beaver, moving at 35 miles per hour. Hazard 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And then this one to the south here, same thing, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, but they also have nickel-sized hail associated with these storms. Honestly, I think that there is some hail in this northern storm here, because if we switch back to this radar site, whenever we get the next scan in. Dan, I don't know if you're allowed to or not. It says that they're not available for broadcast, but I'm not technically broadcasting. I'm not going to risk it just in case I get copyright striked, but if I could, I would really like to. But yeah, we can see these areas up here of particularly high reflectivity. This might be a hail core, and actually if we run the correlation coefficient here, yeah, there is a wild difference in the amount in the particle size here, which leads me to believe that there is some significant hail in that. And actually, we'll take a look one more time just to see if they update that. So far, nothing. And this is actually just outside of that whole tornado watch area. Now, if you're not familiar with what the watches mean, and there's a new tornado warning down here to the south, I will take a look at that. Tornado watches simply mean that conditions are right for a tornado, or for tornadoes to appear throughout the day. But they also act as kind of severe thunderstorm watches, because if you have conditions suitable for tornado development, you also have conditions suitable for other severe thunderstorm types, such as wind, primarily wind. If you have a lot of shear, if you have a lot of cape, you could have hail, but there is some more. There are more mechanics that cause hail than just an updraft. It also takes into account the freezing layer above the ground, but wind and tornadoes pretty much go hand in hand. So we'll take a look at base velocity here. This is some very pronounced rotation here. This is actually the most pronounced that we've seen since I've started tracking this today. We'll take a look and see if it has been observed. Just capable of producing a tornado. The hazard is a tornado and quarter-sized hail. Radar indicated rotation. This is looking promising. So what's going on is we have these inflow winds up here moving probably moving directly into the squall, and then we have winds moving toward the radar site. So red means away from radar, green means toward the radar. And actually, let's animate this really quickly to see what's going on here. We'll run to reflectivity. Yeah, so this is definitely the inflow notch that's forming. We'll head back to the most recent frame. Yeah, I really wish that we could, Dan. Ultimately, I want to be able to do this on the road. Not necessarily this, but storm chase and live stream the storm chases. That would be a lot of fun. I'm not the most vocal, if you can't tell. I'm not great at talking, but yeah. So we'll take a look at these tornado warnings up here again just to make sure. Still radar indicated rotation, and still radar indicated rotation. So these are both of these tornado warnings up here are radar indicated. They are not observed. Once again, does not mean that they're not on the ground. I will continue to say that because people have a tendency to not take tornado warnings to not take them seriously. If they're not observed, but obviously that's not always a good thing. So you can see here, this is all radar indicated. We'll move this up into the corner here. And then this severe thunderstorm warning has an inch, 1.25 inches, an inch and a quarter hail. That is definitely severe. It's probably stemming from this little hail core right down here. Although it may also be somewhere in the northern sections of the squall line. But the further away you go, the higher up into the storm you're actually looking at. So to get a better picture of these severe thunderstorm warnings, it might be better to take a look at the Fort Worth radar. But currently we have this tornado warning down here that has some of the, we'll click on that again, that has some of the best rotation of the day so far. So we'll keep an eye on that. There are some very strong winds happening back here. So strong actually that they are I forget the technical term for it, but when winds become strong enough, they will eventually break the scale kind of and then go to the opposite side of the scale. So this is likely not rotation. This is likely just straight line winds. But currently there is that tornado warning here. And since there's the live scan, we're going to switch back to this. And we will... Is the live scan done? Yes, it is. Okay, we will animate this really quickly to see what's going on here. If they're going to extend this tornado warning, they're going to have to extend it soon because this storm is booking it. It will be at... come on. Lampasas at 5:42 p.m. So if you live in Lampasas, you have 20 minutes to get into your shelter. These are both also radar indicated. Less than 3/4 inch hail up in this northern tornado warning for, what are these counties? Oh, okay, so this is going to play out until it expires. Prompted this tornado warning has fallen apart essentially, and it is becoming this severe thunderstorm warning here up near Springfield. We will switch to this really quickly just to give you a picture of that. And this tornado warning down here looks like it got renewed. Okay, no, it got canceled. So this will this may go away. It may not go away, but this is further away from Fayetteville. There we go. So this tornado warning, I believe, was set to expire. We also have the squall line approaching Springfield, Missouri. This is a squall line that has some powerful winds associated with it. Hail is less than 0.75 inches, but the wind is what's causing this severe thunderstorm warning at 60 miles per hour. And we'll take a look down here to the south again at this tornado warning. This one's expired, by the way, or it will expire at 5:30 Central Daylight Time. We are going to come over to this. Which radar are we going to use? We'll use this Fort Smith radar to take a look at this tornado warning up here to the north. I believe it might be closer. I'm not entirely sure. Come on. Load in, please. There we go. Okay, so a lot of range folding. That means that it is coming out to the edge of this this radar site's like reliability zone. Unfortunately, we're in between this Fort Smith radar and the Springfield radar. There isn't really a radar site that is any better at picking this out. Maybe the KINX. Well, actually, let's take a look here. Radar control, radial measure tool. This is measuring almost 2 kilometers off the ground from Fort Smith. So for that, we're going to switch over to the Springfield radar. This is 2 kilometers off the ground, and we'll come over here to KINX, and this is 3 kilometers off the ground. Okay, so Fort Smith is definitely the radar we want to use because it is the lowest in the atmosphere. If you guys don't know, as the radar beam travels away, it elevates through the sky, essentially causing you to see higher up in the thunderstorm. So, for example, these tilts, this is the lowest tilt, the 0.5 degree tilt, but that means that the radar is at an angle, so the beam will progress up through the atmosphere as it gets further and further away. Oh, that's not pretty. There we go. So this tornado warned storm will be at, we'll use this one here, we'll be at Green Forest at 5:56 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Alpena at 6:03 p.m. Central Daylight Time, or sorry, Central Standard Time. This is Standard Time right now. And 6:15 Omaha. And that is, I believe, Omaha, Arkansas, not Omaha. Well, it obviously wouldn't be Omaha, Nebraska. I didn't know if this was in Missouri or not. If Omaha was. Sorry about that, guys. We'll take a look back down here to the south, this tornado warning here. Still a radar indicated rotation. It's currently only over rural areas, so even if there is a tornado on the ground, we might not know simply because it won't pick up much debris. And actually, until we have anything that's observed, I will just switch it to the national radar here. Simply because it will be easier to see everything. So we can set this to animate. This tornado warning did expire. It was set to expire at 5:30 Central Daylight Time, and it did. This tornado warning down here to the south is still there. Although they may extend this warning up to the north. We will Now we'll just keep it like this for now. Fortunately, both of those tornado warnings that were headed toward the Fort Worth area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, did expire without producing anything. This tornado warning to the north that you see did produce a funnel cloud um, near Tolar, but it also the storm weakened and eventually expired before it hit the Fort Worth area. So that is a good thing. We've got a very strong snow system up here to the north that will dump a ton of snow to a lot of these northern states. And actually, if we want to take a look at that really quickly, we'll come over here to take a look at 24-hour accumulation. I'm currently have this going. And we can see that in the next 24 hours, there's forecasted to be at most 6 inches of snow in some of these areas. If we take a look at 48 hours, really we're still looking at about 6 inches of snow. But then we get up here into Michigan, and we're getting into that 8 to 12 inch mark, really topping out at anywhere around 9.5, 9.6 inches. And then 72 hours out, a lot more of this area is going to see that 9 to 10 inch mark up here to the north. But anyway, you guys didn't come here to see winter weather stuff. You guys came here to see severe storm stuff. So we'll continue to have these moving. How's it going, Eli? I'm going to take a break for just a second, guys, so I can get a drink of water. Um, if anything happens while I'm gone, I will try to touch on it, but I will be back in a couple of minutes. All right, guys, I am back. Hopefully nothing happened while I was gone. We'll take a look at these 2 tornado warnings here. We'll stop the loop. Sorry, guys, I'm a little sick if you can't tell by my voice. Hello, please let me click. Oh, because I'm on Explorer, that makes sense. Radar indicated tornado, or here, radar indicated rotation, I should say, not radar indicated tornado. Up here near, it is to the northeast of Fayetteville. So if you know anybody who lives up here, we'll take a look at near Green Forest, Alpine, or Omaha in Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas. You need to take shelter immediately. There could be a tornado in here. It looks like this is a fairly rural area, so if one is on the ground, you might not know, just because nobody has spotted it yet. We'll switch to higher res radar here in just a second. But we'll come back down here to the south. This tornado warning is still holding on. Still radar indicated. But yeah, nonetheless, it still remains in effect. So we'll actually come down here and switch to the high-res radar here. We'll click show sites. Okay, so we're already on that. So we'll take a look in here. We'll switch to velocity. See, the velocity maps, this is the problem with squall lines. It's very difficult to figure out where the rotation actually is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at reflectivity and see if I can figure this out. We'll do a little bit of a loop here. I think it's in this area right in here where that precipitation is kind of wrapping in, right in this area. So head to base velocity. This area right here is where I'm assuming this rotation is. Yeah, this is headed near Lampasas. Lampasas. I'm gonna call it Lampasas. If you know anybody that lives to the south of Lampasas, Lampasas, I'm assuming that's how you say it. There is a severe thunderstorm warned storm that is actually over you at the moment. We can take a look at what the products are here. It's this one. 1.25 inch hail, so this is actually a pretty big hail maker. This is actually going to be to the north of Lampasas in this hail core up here, and winds of 65 miles per hour are possible right now with that. We are going to actually switch to level 3 data, because level 3 data ends up looking worse. Never mind. We're going to come back over here to level 2, but you can actually see in here where this hail core is to the north of Lampasas. We'll switch to velocity and see if we can see anything on this low tilt base velocity. Perhaps it's this, but I don't think it's that, because if we switch over here to the level 2 data and click on base velocity, yeah, perhaps that's where it is. That's just out here on the edge, although this precipitation is kind of hooking out. Lampasas. That's how. Yeah, okay. Up here to the north of Lampasas. Lampasas. There we go. This tornado warned storm is to the south of Lampasas. That's going to take me a minute to get. There is. So if we look at velocity, it's very hard to determine where the rotation is. The obvious area would be right here, but this was actually, if we take a look at the loop, this area of rotation was outside. So what I'm assuming is either they're going to cancel this and it's this area here where we've got some strong toward the radar flow and then some weak toward the radar flow just to the like southwest of it. If we look at, oh, yep, they canceled it. Okay, that makes more sense. I could not see where the rotation was. Okay, we have a new tornado warning here just to the south, almost due south of the Fort Worth area. This tornado warning is actually headed toward the Dallas metro area. So we're going to switch over to this really quickly, and we'll take a look at, of course, your awaiting activation. Give me just a moment here, folks. Let's see if we can't get something to load up here. And sorry if you guys can hear my mic muting. It means I'm coughing. I'm just trying to get this radar data from up here in this Fort Worth area, which this is not very good because this tornado warned storm is actually in the path of the radar. Radar indicated, which means that we should be able to, oh wow, yeah, there is a very pronounced inflow notch right there. So we take a look at base velocity, we can see that. So basically what's going on here is we've got inflow coming in right here, moving away from the radar site, and then a very powerful, basically a very powerful gust moving toward the radar site. So not only are we dealing with a tornado warned storm right now, we're also dealing with these strong wind gusts, which are up to 60 miles per hour. Also some hail in this embedded hail core. So if you live, here we go. If you live in Cross Timber and Burleson, in Rendon, get to shelter immediately. This will be at Cross Timber at 6:03, at Burleson and at 6:05, and at Rendon and at 6:17 p.m. And this is all in Central Daylight Time. Central Standard Time. I changed my system settings so that it would show that because that's more accurate. I am curious though what this looked like a few minutes ago, so we will animate this. Okay, so that just ended up wrapping very quickly, very, very quickly. We're gonna take a look here at correlation coefficient, see if it's picked up anything, because that is a very, very pronounced hook, very pronounced inflow notch right here. Actually, we're at we're at a 9-degree elevation. We need to be at a 5-degree elevation. Very, very pronounced inflow notch here. We're going to keep an eye on this because that has the potential to be to actually drop something. I mean, a lot of these, most of the tornado warnings do have potential to drop something, but that is that's very well defined. And if we take a look at base velocity, we're going to hit play and animate this here. You can really see those winds starting to wrap up. So we're going to come back over here to reflectivity. Now, this is headed toward the Dallas area. This is the Dallas metro area. So in between here, Dallas and Fort Worth, in what is this? Northern Johnson County and southeastern Tarrant County. And this will expire at 6:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. But as of right now, there is radar indicated rotation that could have the potential to drop a tornado. So you need to keep an eye on this. We will keep an eye on this, and we will see if anything ends up happening. There is another tornado warning up here near Springfield, where we saw that squall with a lot of hail earlier. We'll jump over here very quickly. Anywhere where we see a tornado warning near a populated area, we're just going to hop over to it. So this is moving out of Springfield, which is a good thing. We'll move over here to base velocity. We can see this inflow right here near Strawford. So if you live in Strawford, you need to be in your tornado shelter right now. This is moving over you as we speak. We're going to look at... Oh, no, this isn't moving over you quite yet. This is maybe an outdated image versus the velocity. So maybe it's right here. Maybe it's right next to that arrow. Right in this area. We'll play it really quickly to see what's going on here. Yeah, it looks like it would be this area, this in this little elevated reflectivity. We'll take a look. This is radar indicated. Um, so we'll come over here to base velocity. Yeah, no worries. I would have produced videos about this had I not been sick, but obviously I was. If you actually follow me on Twitter or join my Discord server, I do post graphics. Even if I don't produce a video, I know that I haven't been the most consistent on making videos, but I do put out graphics pretty regularly. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure to check out my Twitter or my Facebook page or Discord. But with that being said, we're going to come back down here to Dallas. This is okay. There is now an observed tornado here in this Dallas Fort Worth area. So we're going to come back down here to this radar site. This is observed. So if you live near Cross Timber, Burleson, or Rendon, you need to be in your tornado shelters right now. This is an observed tornado. We're going to go to correlation coefficient. That is difficult to see. Where is this? I'm assuming this is right in this area. I'm going to put my finger there. I know you can't see this, but I'm going to check correlation coefficient. There may be a little bit of a debris ball forming here. This is going into a more populated area. This is actually headed directly toward the radar site, which is not good news. So if you live near this, if you live near Fort Worth, if you live to the south or to the southeast of the Fort Worth area, you need to be in your tornado shelters right now. This is an observed tornado. Okay, so it is radar confirmed. They know that a tornado is here because they can see that debris ball. Oh, this moved very quickly. Either that or I had a very outdated image. We'll grab base velocity here. It's going to be right in this area. Oh, the velocity is updating. Okay, so it's going to be right. You see this little pair right here where we have those grays and those reds paired with this this green right here. This is where that tornado is going to be. And this is confirmed. This is radar confirmed. So if you live in that area, you need to take shelter immediately because there is a tornado warning for just to the south of a fairly populated area. This will be headed toward Cross Timber at 6:01, Burleson at 6:03, and Rendon at 6:15 p.m. So if you live in any of those areas, you need to be in your tornado shelter. Associated with this, we also have some very powerful winds. So we can see here, and we also have some hail. 1-inch hail has been observed. And then also 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts have been observed with this system. So if you live in here, you can expect a tornado, you can expect hail, and you can expect some strong winds. So if you live in this area, you need to be in your shelters now. If you're outside, you need to get indoors. Get underground if you can. If not, get into a sturdy room in your house, preferably a bathroom on the interior of your building. This is just to the south of Highway 20. It's not quite there yet. It'll be crossing Highway 35 here in about 11 minutes. So if you're driving through the Highway 35 West area, I hope that you're not driving and listening to this, but if you are, or you know anybody who is, you need to make sure you avoid this area between headed toward Burleson. If you see, excuse me, that you're near Alvarado, or you are just to the south of Fort Worth, you need to stay off of that stretch of Highway 35 West, because there is a potential tornado crossing Highway 35 West in about 11 minutes. It might, if there is actually a tornado on the ground, this might hit the radar site, which is not good news. So if you live in that area, you need to make sure that you are staying safe right now. It is getting ever closer to this radar site, which is really bad because we're not going to be able to see it for a while until it passes over. We're going to take a look at this one. This is still radar indicated. This one's radar observed. So we're going to come down here and we're just going to continue looking at this. I'm going to quickly see. So it's still radar confirmed. We need to check correlation coefficient. We'll check base velocity. It's probably right about here at the moment. But this radar site is about to take a direct hit by, if there's a tornado here, it's about to take a direct hit by the tornado. Like momentarily. And for people who don't know, a radar observed tornado means that not only do we have rotation, but we have evidence of debris being lofted into the sky. It just means that it hasn't been observed, but the radar, we're fairly confident that there is something happening here. And also, for those of you who don't know, all of these little blips right here where you can see the ground through the radar, this is ground clutter. So you're not getting any reflectivity from it because they've determined that this is there are buildings here that are blocking the signal, buildings or trees or something like that. So if you live in this area, you need to take shelter immediately. This should be crossing Highway 35 West. Actually, right now, this is an outdated node. So if you live on highway, if you live near Highway 35 West, just to the south of Fort Worth, on the county line between whichever county Fort Worth is in and whichever county, what is this, Aladro or Burleson is in. If you live in Burleson, you need to be in your shelter right now. This is on top of you, moving to the north-northeast. Fortunately, we're still getting data from the radar. If we stop getting it, that's going to be a problem. Awaiting new volume. Come on, send me something. Send me something. Okay, got another scan coming in. It is passing over the radar site as we speak. So we did get the most recent scan in. Let's hope that we continue to get said scans. Take a look at velocity to see if we can see anything. Nothing really right now. Although it was updating. Come on, live scan, let's go. We're still getting scans in, which once again is a very good thing. I'm going to see if anybody has said anything about this radar site getting hit by it. Give me a second. I'm going to go to the National Weather Service Twitter and see if I can see anything. Oh, really? Come on. What is this? Fort Worth. National Weather Service, Fort Worth. Their last update was just saying that radar suggests tornado is occurring. So we'll see. Fingers crossed everyone's okay. Fingers crossed a tornado is not actually on the ground. Okay, so I think it's safe to say that the tornado has passed the radar site, and because we're getting more scans on radar that suggests that either the tornado passed slightly to the north of it, which is possible. The tornado could be right up here, or that a tornado is not on the ground at all. Usually, National Weather Service sites are right next to the radar sites, so if there was a tornado on the ground, we should have gotten word by it now. Word about it. I'm gonna keep refreshing the Fort Worth. Oh, okay, 28 seconds ago. The tornado with this storm has likely dissipated, but don't let your guard down. This storm could still produce very strong straight line winds as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour. Dallas Fort Worth weather. Okay, so um, the tornado is now, okay, this is now radar indicated. That makes sense. Um, no longer radar observed. It looks like the debris ball has faded away with it. I'm going to come up here to the other tornado warning that we had and see if anything has changed about this. Still radar indicated. This tornado warned storm is now moving into the area between the Fort Worth and the Dallas area. So if you live between there, the tornado is no longer observed. However, that does not mean it's not on the ground. So take shelter immediately if you live in those areas. We're getting a scan in right now. I'm going to take a look at base velocity. It's probably coming in as we speak. Hard to see the rotation here. It's probably up here to the north of this radar site. We'll switch back over to reflectivity and we'll hit play. See what's going on here. You can really see this precipitation starting to wrap up in here, and that was the worry that was what was sparking this tornado warning here. We're gonna take a look and see. So that tornado warning. Oh no, that tornado warning's still there. Both of these are radar indicated now. I'm gonna stay on this Dallas Fort Worth one because this does have a history of producing tornadoes. So we think I'm gonna check the SPC website really quickly and see if they have said anything about this being a possible tornado. So far, no. This storm that has a history of producing a tornado is now moving across Interstate 20. We're going to take a look at velocity here. This tornado warned storm is now moving across pretty much where Interstate 20 and Interstate 35 West meet up. There's a new tornado warning now here for, what is this? Northern Hopkins County in north central Texas, and southeastern Lamar County in north central Texas, and Delta County in north central Texas. This is radar indicated as of right now. We'll take a look at velocity here, and yeah, we do have some tightening of this rotation here. There's probably a mesocyclone associated with the storm. This may be a supercell, actually. It's not the classic shape of one, but we are starting to get that notch in, and it's not a part of the squall line, it's ahead of it. All of these storms that are popping up ahead of this squall line have the potential to produce tornadoes. There is currently a tornado watch for most of this area stretching here from about Florence, Texas, all the way up through southern Missouri here, near Springfield. There's currently a tornado warning near Springfield, just to the northeast of it, moving north-northeast. It's also radar indicated. Currently, we've got 3 tornado warnings that are all radar indicated. We're getting a new scan in right now, so we'll be able to see. Once the scan finishes, I'm going to hit play, animate it, see what I can see. So yeah, this may be a supercell up here in front of the squall line in the warm sector of the storm. This will be headed near, if I could, please, thank you. This will be near Tira at 6:25 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Deport at 6:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. Fortunately, a lot of the storm doesn't appear to be that quick, although I could be completely wrong, and this could be just a bad algorithm for figuring out storm motion. Current tornado counts, tornado reports 2. There was one in Texas that hasn't been added to the Storm Prediction Center site yet, that the National Weather Service down there actually had a very close encounter with. They haven't updated on the Storm Prediction Center site yet, but if you include that, 3. 2 of those are confirmed. One was in Cherokee County, Oklahoma. It was confirmed via TDS, or tornado debris signature. One of the radar products that you can use is correlation coefficient, which can show you basically it's like almost like a ratio between size of particles that are aloft, and so the more uniform they are, the higher. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but the second one was in Polk County, Missouri, and it was observed, but the tornado intensity is unknown at the moment. Okay, so with this thunderstorm up here near Cooper, there is a wall cloud. This is coming from the National Weather Service in Fort Worth. There are reports of a rotating wall cloud, which means that this could drop a tornado. There's definite rotation in here. Once this live scan comes through, we will switch over to velocity. Okay, we'll come down to base velocity now. This will probably have to update as well. Come on, scan through. Okay, so we definitely have rotation here. Fortunately, it's rather broad and it's not strong, which reduces the chances of a tornado dropping from this storm. But we have an extension from this previous tornado warning up here in between the Dallas and Fort Worth areas. Fort Worth is included in this tornado warning. Dallas, the county that Dallas is in, Dallas County is also in this tornado warning. This is for eastern Tarrant County and northwestern Dallas County. This storm has a history of producing a tornado. The rotation is right in this area here. We've got winds that are moving toward the radar site on the western portion of this storm, and then winds moving away from the radar site on the eastern portion, giving us that counterclockwise motion that we expect to see during a tornado. Looking at correlation coefficient, there could be something, but honestly, it's too close to the radar site to really tell. It could just be. It could be nothing. It's too difficult to tell at this point. This tornado warning here for the southern end, the storm has moved out of it, and it will likely expire here shortly. New tornado warning here near St. Louis. This is well out of the tornado watch area. It'd be interesting to see if there was an extension, given the fact that there is a new tornado warning up here. We're coming in with a scan right now. Come on, scan. There we go. Okay, so this is another one of those bow fronts that we were talking about just a minute ago. Let's look at base velocity here. We've got very strong winds behind this. We're likely seeing this, severe thunderstorm warning for 60 mile per hour wind gusts behind this storm. This tornado warning is likely for this area right in here. That's pretty far outside of the area. Okay. Just got a new scan in. Take a look at base velocity again. Very difficult to tell with all of this range folding in here where the rotation is. Correlation coefficient, got a whole lot of nothing, which is a good sign. If we move back to base velocity, there's nothing over here, even though it says that this is the area that we might expect it to be in. I'm going to switch over to the St. Louis National Weather Service Twitter to see what they have to say. Wait a minute. Has this turned to observed? No, it has not. Okay, good. So yeah, we'll head to the St. Louis National Weather Service. Okay, so it is just a tornado warning. There's nothing confirmed. It's only radar indicated rotation. That's what we know. We're going to head back down to this Dallas tornado warning because this is the one that we're really worried about because it's headed, it's actually inside a very populated area at the moment. So if it does decide to drop, this is a very bad location for it to drop at. Come on. Oh, awaiting activation. Come on. We're going to have to go a little to the south to, for whatever reason, this program has a bug where if you go too far, if you don't let the previous scan go through, it'll mess up when you're trying to do the most recent scan. So we'll switch back up here now, and it should be good. but there is currently a tornado warning for Tarrant County in north central Texas. It's for the eastern portion of the county and for northwestern Dallas County. This is the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if you live in this area, you need to be in your tornado shelter immediately. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes. It produced a tornado just to the south. It also produced a wall cloud earlier out here near Tolar. This is a part of that same storm complex, so it does have a history of producing some tightened rotation. How long are you going to stream for? I have to eat dinner soon. I don't know how soon, but I plan on live streaming as long as my voice holds out, because I am kind of sick at the moment. If you can't tell by my voice, I'm having kind of a difficult time talking at the moment. But I will go as long as my voice allows me to do so. But tornado warning for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Still radar indicated. Let's hope that it stays radar indicated and it's not confirmed. But once again, this has a history of producing tornadoes. It looks like that rotation is actually weakening, which is a good thing. I'm struggling to see any organized tightened rotation right now, which means that this storm may be over. If we actually do a little bit of a fast forward here and model it, you can see that wrapping, it actually developed an inflow notch here. This is an embedded supercell. There was an inflow notch right here. There was a mesocyclone. As it pushed through actually the National Weather Service site, it pushed just to the north of it, just to the north of the radar site as well, and it had a debris ball on it earlier. So currently no debris ball, currently no tightened organized rotation. So let's hope that it stays this way as it pushes out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This tornado warning over here did have a confirmed wall cloud associated with it. We can take a look at the base velocity here. Probably still has that wall cloud, given that there is fairly broad rotation. We can refresh this and see if anything has been said about it. No. Okay. I'm basically going through the National Weather Service Twitter sites to get my up-to-date information, because I generally put it on there fairly quickly, and I can just switch between Twitter accounts as I need to figure out where this stuff is happening at. We'll switch back to reflectivity, because I'm sure that's the one that you all are concerned with at the moment. I wonder if anybody else is currently streaming this. Looks like Severe Radar Watchers is. But currently, tornado warning, the Fort Worth area, if you live in the central portion of it, you are never under a tornado warning. If you live in the southeastern portion of Fort Worth, you are all clear at the moment. This storm has progressed to the northeast of you. If you live within highway, 820, you are likely out of the danger zone at the moment. It looks like the bulk of the rotation... Oh, no. That's not true. That's not true at all. The bulk of the rotation is still within highway, Was that 820? So if you live in within highway 820, specifically in the northeastern portion of that 820 loop, you are still under a risk of tornadoes. It's currently radar indicated. That does not mean that a tornado is not on the ground. It just means that nobody has seen it. It could be rain wrapped. This is a very high precipitation event right now. We will switch between and just take a look at these other radar indicated tornado warnings and see if anything has changed. Currently it is not. I'm going to keep an eye on this Dallas-Fort Worth one, because this is moving through a metro area at the moment, meaning a lot of people could be affected. This tornado warning up here to the north, near St. Louis, just to the west of St. Louis, is currently not in a metro area. That doesn't mean people aren't going to be affected by it, but not as many people as down here in this Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then same with this little tornado warning up here that has that wall cloud that has been confirmed. I am going to refresh the Twitter feed of the Fort Worth National Weather Service to see anything else. And then I will also, St. Louis, come on. St. Louis National Weather Service, we'll just open that up. Okay, no reports of tornadoes, but radar indicated rotation is still a thing for that Missouri system. If you're just now joining, there is currently a tornado warning here for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The tornado had much more defined rotation earlier as it was moving into this county and moving through the radar site and the Fort Worth National Weather Service site. That rotation has largely broken down as we've progressed through. We can animate this really quickly so you can see what we're talking about. There's very defined rotation here. That was a classic supercell look with an inflow notch and with that precipitation wrapping around and a well-defined hook echo here that has vastly broken down. It could be cycling. It's currently moving out of that Fort Worth area and it'll be moving into Dallas County shortly. There's currently a tornado warning for northwestern portions of Dallas County, but it is currently in east central. What is this? Tarrant County? Yeah, Tarrant County and northeastern Tarrant County as well. And this is in effect until 6:45 Central Standard Time. That's good, Dom TV. They need to be in their shelters. Fortunately, if they're near downtown Dallas, they will be. They may not be affected by the tornadic portion of the storm. This storm does have a history of producing tornadoes, but the rotation is fortunately breaking down. We just have to hope it doesn't decide to cycle. It produced a wall cloud out here toward Toller earlier, and then as it passed the radar site, it did actually drop a tornado a little ways into this county to the south of it. But currently it's moving through the Fort Worth area. We're going to keep an eye on this and make sure that that's not beginning to cycle and produce another one. Still only radar indicated. This is moving through a metro area, which means there are a lot of buildings. So if a tornado was on the ground, we would see a decrease in the correlation coefficient. And while we do have this little area here, just to the west of Ulysses, while we do have that little dip right there, that's also not in a precipitation area. So we're not worried about that. What I'm worried about right now is this little notch beginning to form again. Because if we take a look at this animated version, you can see that notch begin to form, and then it fades away and it's beginning to form again. That's a classic sign of a cycling thunderstorm. So if you live in northwestern Dallas County, or if you live in east central or northeastern Tarrant County, you need to be in your tornado shelters at the moment, because there is a tornado warning with a storm that has a history of producing. Nice to be here again. How y'all doing? Right on, man. So if you live in either of those counties, you need to be taking shelter immediately. I'm going to take a look here at this. Okay, still radar indicated. There's still probably a wall cloud here. Yeah, definitely a wall cloud there. Going to refresh the... I'm going to refresh the Fort Worth... okay, still nothing from the Fort Worth National Weather Service. Still nothing from the St. Louis National Weather Service. Sorry if you can hear me drinking. I'll mute it next time. I didn't think about it. Oh, you can't hear me. My bad. Um, well, I just said a lot. That sucks. Can you hear me now? I'm assuming you can. I keep muting my mic because I have a cold at the moment and I don't want to cough into the mic. I gotta remember to unmute it though. Currently, if you live within this 820 area within Fort Worth, if you live inside that 820 loop, or if you live to the west of Highway 820, you have an all clear. The storm has moved out of the area. If you live in in the northeastern part of that 820 loop, you likely are just dealing with heavy rain at the moment and maybe some stronger winds. You guys can hear me now? Okay, good. You're dealing with some stronger winds. This is pushing out of Tarrant County and pushing into Dallas County. Currently, we still have 3 tornado warnings, all of which are, all of which are radar indicated at the moment. This one here has a wall cloud associated with it, and it might be forming a hook. Is that a hook? It might be. Let's take a look at reflectivity. Very difficult to tell, but this is beginning to look like a very stereotypical low precipitation supercell structure. But we really got to keep an eye on this part right here that's moving into Dallas County. Within this area, there could be another tornado forming. It's currently only radar indicated. There is some rotation. Unfortunately, I can't see it because of this range folding here. I would like for that to go away, but it probably won't. I see nothing on correlation coefficient, so if there was a tornado on the ground, because this is moving through a metro area, you would expect to see debris. I don't see debris, which is a good sign. Sirens are going off in Flower Mound. Where is Flower Mound out? Is that up here? Oop, that's way too far zoomed in. Is that probably in this area? Yeah, I'm not actually sure where Flower Mound is. I'm not very familiar with. Um, I'm not very familiar with Dallas, or not Dallas, sorry, Texas geography. Um, okay, so there has been a report of a funnel cloud here. I'm gonna check their. I'm gonna check their Twitter feed and see if they've said anything about said wall cloud. Or sorry, about the funnel cloud. I know it has a history of producing a funnel cloud. It also has a history of dropping a tornado. It produced a funnel out here near what's the town's name? Tolar. I should have remembered that by now. I've mentioned that so many times. And then it dropped a tornado out here to the southwest of this radar site. It looked like it was going to barrel right over it, but it made a pass just to the north before the National Weather Service said that there was no longer an observed tornado. It was only observed on radar. But we are going to take a look at this. If this begins to tighten, that could be the funnel cloud that they were talking about. 35 west. 35 west. Oh, okay. So is it in the north or the south portion? Because if it's in north of Fort Worth, um, hmm. Here, let me just look it up really quickly. Flower Mound, Texas. Okay, I see it now. It's up here near North Richland Hills. If you live in Flower Mound, you're safe. The tornado has passed. The tornado warned storm has passed out of your area. You're likely dealing with some wind and some heavy rain right now, but that will quit here in a couple minutes. We're going to take a look at base velocity again. Of course, this range folding's still here. I can't get a good idea of what's happening thanks to this little purple bit. My son lives in Lennard, Texas, so I'm watching how it's headed that way. Oh, Flower Mound. There it is. Is that really off of where it actually is? Oh, I see it. I see it. I apologize about that. That's outside of Tarrant County. That tornado warning has just expired. So if you live in the Fort Worth or the Dallas area, or if you live in Flower Mound, if you live in any of those areas, you have an all clear by the National Weather Service now. They let that tornado warning expire. At 6:33 p.m. Central Standard Time, the storm moving through the immediate Dallas-Fort Worth area has weakened, and the tornado warning has been canceled, which is normally one of those things that happens when it moves through a metro area. Is you'll see these storms weaken, but they can intensify on the other side. So keeping an eye on this storm is going to be very important. It has a history of producing tornadoes, as I've said a few times. And so if you're just now watching, I'm going to keep repeating it just in case. It's very difficult to explain exactly what range folding is, but I don't understand why it's happening so close to the radar site. But range folding, it's basically you send out, the whole way that this works is the radar sends out a beam of energy. It hits the particles in the cloud, and then it brings it back to the radar site. And what range folding essentially is you have a building, or no, not a building. Sorry, that'd be ground clutter. What range folding essentially is you've sent out a radar beam, and it hasn't gotten back before the next radar beam is sent out. So it's very difficult to see, to tell where exactly that is. So you get just a packet of information that's completely lost. Now, I'm not super familiar with how radars work. I do know generally how radars work, but I'm not super familiar with all the mechanics of it, and I don't know why there would be so much range folding so close to the radar site, because usually that's something that you get kind of far out. Like, for example, there's a ring right around here where it becomes difficult, and there's also a ring around here where it becomes difficult to really um, figure out what is the current radar beam and what's the one that you sent before, if that makes any sense. Um, all the tornado warnings in Texas have expired. There's still one tornado warning up here to the northwest of St. Louis. So since all those tornado warnings have expired, we will move up here. I will keep an eye on the Dallas, the Fort Worth National Weather Service Twitter feed, just to make sure if that tornado warning comes back, we know about it. That tornado warning has expanded actually. Still a radar indicated, so we'll switch to this radar site here. Okay, come on, scan. That is one intense thunderstorm. There's likely quite a bit of hail in this and quite strong winds in this as well. Hail is less than 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Wind speeds are at 60 miles per hour. This is a bow front, and there may be, I'm assuming the rotation is associated from this area right up here near the front. And see, this is what I mean. I have people have explained to me what range folding is, but I'm not sure why there's so much of it right here, so close to the radar site. I would like to learn more about it, and I actually have one of my professors is like radar science is her thing, so I can probably ask her about it. Um, yes, so I'm assuming this is the inflow notch, and this is why the warned area has been warned. It's in the middle of that warning box, and it's about to move out of this previous warning box. So if you live in Warrenton, you need to be in your shelters right now. If you live near Wright City, you should be in your shelters as well. Near Troy, this will be headed toward you. I am going to animate this really quickly to see if we can see any of that wrapping effect happening. We don't see very much of it, but that doesn't mean that it's not there. We do see this moving to the north that could, if basically there are a couple parts to a supercell there, or to any thunderstorm really. There are your updrafts and your downdrafts. The downdrafts essentially create a warm front and a cold front, but localized and very small. So right now, what we've got going on is we have a cold downdraft coming down near this Warrenton area, and then we've got very warm air and very moist air ahead of it that's moving into it. If this gust front, if this like cold front or this localized cold front cuts off that supply, this whole storm will likely cease to be tornado warned, because that area in here where that gust front and that inflow meet is where you're most likely going to get a tornado. Uh, excuse me. I'm gonna refresh the Fort Worth National Weather Service. Still saying it's canceled. I'm gonna refresh the St. Louis. Okay, they're just saying they've got a continuation and an expansion of said warning. Um, Currently, not a whole lot in the way of tornadoes. We've had 3 confirmed tornadoes, or at least 3 observed tornadoes. Um, this is all pushing into Illinois right now, and so actually parts of counties in Illinois are under tornado warnings at the moment. And if we take a look at the convective outlook, this only has a marginal risk. So if this continues to be this strong pushing in, well, we could see some stronger thunderstorms moving through central Illinois and into Indiana as well. We're going to turn that off now. All right, and with that new scan in, we're going to animate this again and kind of see generally what it's doing. Not a fan about how the whole thing stops right there and seems to jump a gap. There's something weird going on with that radar sight. Sorry, I'm trying to get better with the whole mic muted thing. I noticed it was muted as I finished the explanation. The explanation wasn't very important, so I decided to just let it slide. Um, Still no tornado warnings in Texas, none in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, none in Arkansas, none in Louisiana at the moment. This will continue to push mostly to the north and to the east, and that's when we start to see the potential supercellular activity pop up here in Louisiana. If we take a look at the convective outlooks, that marginal risk area spans through parts of Mississippi, parts of northern Louisiana, and that storm system hasn't even gotten there yet. What's likely to happen and why that's there is because there could be pop-up storms ahead of the cold front, and if that happens, those pop-up storms could become supercells. And supercells have a higher likelihood of becoming tornadic. And with all that being said, thanks for showing up, Deb. But with all that being said, I do have to run and get dinner, so I will switch this to the national radar, and I'll have it set to animate. Hopefully it gets the act together. I'll have it set to animate here so you guys can see it. And I will turn off the interstates, that way it's easier to see. So I will see you all when I get back. Yeah. Alright guys, I am back. It looks like there have been a couple of tornadoes, or at least tornado warnings, since I've been gone. There's currently one in Oklahoma, and that seems to be about it at the moment. We'll take a look at this. Oh, no, there's one in Arkansas as well. We will take a look at both of these. Radar indicated, okay. We will switch off of national radar. We'll switch to NexRad Pro data. Come on. Let's see, here's a good radar site. Alright, looks like this Fort Smith radar site's going to be the best one. Come on, Fort Smith. Awaiting activation. No. Oklahoma City. Alright, now we will switch over to this radar site. Please work. Give it just a second there, folks. Anyone who's still watching, this is taking a while to actually get the scan. Come on, there we go. Okay, finally. So, take a look at this one right here. It looks like this one was issued 2 minutes ago, so I actually watched that issuance. And we are going to take a look here. Nobody's currently in the path of the storm, but we will... Oh, are there 2 tornado warnings here? I'm confused about what's going on there. Okay, well, anyway, we'll take a look at the base velocity here. There's definitely some rotation going on in this. This may be promising, so we will keep an eye on that. We're going to take a look at this Oklahoma one over here. Now, mind you, this is Oklahoma, this is Arkansas, so we're taking a look at both of these at the moment. Valiant here. There is some rotation embedded in this. We'll switch to velocity really quickly. Nothing too intense, but that being said, this could turn into something. This is probably the best bet. And for anyone who's curious, currently on the Storm Prediction Center website, there have been 2 confirmed tornadoes all day. And 1 radar confirmed tornado. So we'll have to wait and see if those get confirmed or not as the reports come in. Here we go, newest scan. Not a whole lot going on. Take a look at Severe Studios really quickly. Currently, nobody is live streaming their storm chase. We're going to take a look here. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find people who are storm chasing. Storm chaser live streams. Just to see, because if we have people on the ground watching these, it's a lot easier to figure out what's going on. Do we have anybody chasing these tornado warning storms? Currently nobody chasing the tornado warned ones. But there is this tornado warned storm right here. Take a look at base velocity. We can see quite a bit of rotation in here. It's not very tight, but compared to this one over here, there's a lot of range folding, so that's less than ideal. But compared to what we can see over here, this is the more likely one to produce. There's also another tornado warning that's just been issued up here in west central Missouri. This is for central Logan County in western sorry, I said Missouri, I meant Arkansas. Northeastern Scott County in western Arkansas, and northwestern Yell County in central Arkansas. It's radar indicated rotation. We can see that on here. Some tight, not some tight stuff, but this is kind of broad rotation. If we see it tighten in here somewhere, that's when we'll know. And we can check correlation coefficient. Ooh, what? That looks suspicious. That's at the spot where the rotation is. It's also at the edge of the storm. It's difficult to tell what's going on there. It's not radar confirmed, so if the National Weather Service hasn't put anything out about it, fingers crossed it's going to be okay. How's it going, 99 Wolves? Colin, it's not actually been that active. Currently, in the entire tornado watch area, there are 2 tornado warnings, both of which are radar indicated, and outside of them there are none. None anywhere in the rest of the U.S. either, not that I would expect that there would be. But 2 tornado warnings here. Take a look at oops, that's not correlation coefficient. That's correlation coefficient. I'm gonna wait for this live scan to come through, then I'll animate this to see what's going on. Okay, let's animate this really quickly. Not a whole lot going on. Take a look at reflectivity. That's not pretty. Okay, here we go. We will switch over here to base velocity. Some tightening beginning to happen here in this storm off to the due south of Fort Smith. This storm will be impacting Odin in just under an hour. So if you live in Odin, this will be hitting you in about 40 minutes. This could weaken in that amount of time, but it could also strengthen in that amount of time. So if you live in Odin, you are under a tornado warning currently, and I would get in your shelter sooner rather than later. I do want to see here. We'll animate this really quickly. I really wish there was a radar site a bit closer to at least the southern one. Gonna check whose area is this? This is probably Fort Smith's. Yeah, it's definitely Fort Smith's area. So we'll run to the Fort Smith National Weather Service Twitter account. Fort Smith. If anybody knows the URL for the Fort Smith Twitter account, please let me know. Because we can use that to get up-to-date data. Well, up-to-date information at least. Is that Fort Smith? I mean, I'm assuming it is. I don't know what else that would be. KSRX. That didn't work either. We will look at National Weather Service. Fort. What? National Weather Service sites in Arkansas. Or Arkansas. That's not Little Rock, is it? That's not Little Rock. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, is that in there? I guess that's in their jurisdiction. So we will quickly here. Yes, Little Rock. I didn't realize that some National Weather Service sites got two radars in their entire domain. So far, no new information about the tornado warnings, which is no news is good news in this case. Oh, I was way off of these. There is likely, ooh, that's not looking good. There's likely a wall cloud or maybe not a funnel, but there's most likely going to be a funnel or a wall cloud here above Blue Mountain, Arkansas. So if you know anybody who lives in Blue Mountain, Arkansas, or you know anyone who lives in, let's see here, Lamar, Clarksville, or Knoxville, take shelter. Oh, Lamar's not even in the tornado warning. I stand corrected. Okay, this storm is beginning to do something a little interesting here. What in the... Let's fast forward this. This might be the beginning of an inflow notch here. If there was a tornado, tornado would be right here, just to the northeast of Blue Mountain, to the southwest of Scranton, in Arkansas. This is Take a look at correlation coefficient. There might be... I'm going to look at the National Weather Service Twitter again for Little Rock. They still haven't said anything, but that looks kind of scary, to be honest. There appears to be an inflow notch coming in. Now we've got a new image. We'll take a look at the base velocity here. Base velocity will probably update here in just a second, if it hasn't already. Nope, here it goes. Come on, update. There might be something here. The National Weather Service hasn't said anything yet, but those winds are really starting to tighten. Excuse me, sorry. We'll take a look down here again. Stellar radar indicated on both. I wish there were some chasers on this storm here. We'll take a look here at live storm chasers. There are a couple sort of nearby. I'll see if they've got anything. No video feed on either of them, but there are storm chasers out nearby that storm system. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's it's a little worrying as we can really start to see that hook form. Switch over to base velocity again. That's not helpful. Please live scan come through. There we go. Something is definitely happening here. We'll take a look at the southern one. We're going to animate this really quickly here and see if we can see anything. It's wanting to live scan. It'll do that sometimes when it wants to scan through. Click on this again. We'll refresh the, oops, nope, not Spotify. We'll quickly here refresh the Little Rock Twitter. Still radar indicated, which is good news. Alright, now that live scan is over, let's go ahead and animate this. Excuse me, guys, sorry. I'm trying to mute my mic whenever I have to cough. I'm a little under the weather right now, so just in case any of you are wondering why I'm not talking or why my voice sounds a bit funny. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Howdy, Bill. How's your stream going? Going well, I hope. Do you wanna joint stream? If you're still going at least. I think I see the next area that might get tornado warned. Out here near Ozark. And actually, lo and behold, the moment I say that, a tornado warning goes on here. So you could tell because there's a little notch right here. This little inflow notch is really the sign that something's happening. Currently radar indicated. I only just caught it out of the corner of my eye too. Yeah, I'm gonna message Bill on Discord. Trying to see if Bill would like to joint stream because he does a pretty good job forecasting and does a pretty good job covering these severe storm events. I actually think that he does it better than me because he's able to talk more of the time through it than I am. I kind of, when something's not happening, I kind of go silent, and that's especially true now. I'm going to mute my desktop audio really quickly to see if he wants to. Yeah, I'm going to mute my desktop audio just really quickly.
Everybody here, Jacob?
Can everybody hear Bill? Wait, say something again, Bill.
Hey, testing one, two, three. Oh,
Oh,
testing one, two, three.
they can probably hear you multiple times now that I think about it because my mic's playing. Give me a second. I'm gonna throw on my headphones really quickly. Oh, they're downstairs, aren't they? I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Give me a second to put my headphones in, though. Oh yeah, that tornado warning near Ozark. I called that like a split second before it showed up on WSV3. I saw an inflow notch form, and I checked the velocity. Or no, I didn't even check the velocity yet, but I saw an inflow notch, and I said, "This is probably going to be the next tornado warning." And it popped up as soon as I got finished saying it.
Yeah. Can y'all hear Jacob? Let me know.
Can you guys hear Bill?
Yep. All right. I think they can hear us.
All right. So let's take a look at what's going on here.
Have you WSV3 or? I mean, you don't have GR2. You have WSV3.
Yeah, I don't have GR2. Oh,
Okay.
oh, there are a lot of tornado warnings now.
Yeah, we have 4 active tornado warnings at this moment.
There were three when I. Oh, okay. I guess there's only one more than there was, but yeah, there were only three when I left, and then I came back, and boom.
Yeah. And
Oh,
they're all up in this area.
that um, is that an observed tornado?
Which one?
Uh, the one, the one near Clarksville.
It probably should be because we had a debris ball. We were noticing on that one earlier.
I saw that too. I didn't know if it was a debris ball or not, but there's definitely one now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that one because
If
my WSV3 is only showing 2 tornado warnings.
if you live in Clarksville or Lamar, you need to be in your shelter right now. There is a
Yeah,
large and dangerous tornado on the ground. Damage threat considerable from the
yes.
National Weather Service.
They just, let me see, check correlation coefficient. Oh, yeah, there. That was the one that was over Blue Mountain. I'm looking at correlation coefficient now. That one was definitely bad earlier, and that's why I had the radio traffic going earlier.
Okay, I gotcha.
They were actually saying on that for Yale County, I think that is the tornado warning, and telling. But we noticed it when it was going through Blue Mountain near Havana. It was all over radar scope,
Yeah,
and then
it kind of looked like a little crescent, didn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
kept we kept comparing it to the the storm relative velocity. And once we did that, you can see where the what's sneaky? Why is my radar's not catching?
Yeah, there is, looking at storm relative velocity, there is a large circulation on that tornado is confirmed.
All right, if you'll stay on WSP3, I'll go to GR2.
Okay.
Um,
You can see the hook here and everything on WSV3.
yeah, I can see the hook here.
Hi, True North. Sorry.
Yeah.
How's
Purple
it going,
mine.
Shaylin Crossland?
All right. A tornado warning. Let's see here. This is a PDS situation. Take cover. A confirmed extremely dangerous tornado was indicated near Scranton or Clarksville, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. This tornado is headed directly at the communities of. So if you are near these areas, take cover immediately. Situation. It's radar confirmed tornado. All right, Jacob, I'm gonna read off all the areas.
All right.
Locations impacted include Clarksville, Knoxville, Dulin, Midway in Logan County, Toccolan, Rosetta, Lake Darnell, New Sparta, Luther, Lamar, Scranton, Woodland, Sparta, Holman, Devil's Knob, Morris Bluff, Fort Douglas, Dublin, and Ludwig. Like we both said, this is a PDS tornado with a large debris ball on the ground. It's over Scranton right now, Jacob.
Yeah, it looks like it's just to the east. It's headed in between. It'll be passing Scranton here soon. It'll be between Clarksville and Knoxville here in about 11 minutes. So if you live in Clarksville or if you live in Knoxville, you need to be in your storm shelters right now. If you're in Scranton and you're not in your storm shelter, you need to be in it right now because it's almost directly on top of you.
Victor, if you're in that area right now, get to an interior room or lowest floor on your area and protect yourself. If you're in the country, like you just said, get somewhere, get in the bathroom. I'm looking at Jacob, and you can tell I'm looking at the 3D, and on the NROT, you got the green that shows it's on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell. I'm looking at the 3D. It's pretty big.
Okay, I'm taking a look at it right now. I see it because I'm watching your stream too. So once again, if you live in Clarksville, Knoxville, or Lamar, you need to be in your tornado shelters now. There is a large and dangerous tornado on the ground. This is a PDS, particularly dangerous situation. It's radar confirmed. We can see debris on radar. We also see a very large circulation, meaning this is a large and dangerous tornado.
Yeah, this is the first PD. All right, now it's time for coffee.
Right on.
And she made it strong. But yeah.
Oh, is this a tornado emergency?
It may be. It's downloading now. Hold on. It should be because it's heading to highly populated areas. It didn't go tornado emergency.
It did?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
It should be a tornado emergency. Cause I'm still looking at it on WSB3. I've got still got a large debris ball.
Yeah, on mine, my debris ball is kind of fading. Which radar site are you at?
I'm at KGRX.
KGRX.
Yes, it's to the left of the storm.
Oh, KSRX.
Yeah, KSRX. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't see it as defined on GR2.
Yeah, somebody in my server said it was a tornado emergency, but I'm not seeing it as I'm not seeing that.
I don't see it as tornado emergency right now.
Either way, it's a particularly dangerous situation, so
Yeah.
you need to be getting in your shelters. If you live in Clarksville, Lamar, Knoxville, it's through Scranton now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Dillon, Woodland, Midway, and Logan County, Spadra, Tokalon, Holman, Rosetta, Devil's Knob, Lake.
Hold on. I think my WSB3 froze. Let me go back to GR2. I'm going to have to restart WSB3 real quick. There it is.
Yeah,
All right, now I got it.
My debris ball's starting to fade.
Yep.
I'm getting another 0.5 degree scan coming in right now.
Yeah, I'm still getting it over that rotation right now. All right, let's look at this. Yeah, it's still got some debris right there, right where that meso detection is on. Like I said, it's done moved through.
Yeah, I don't use meso detection. When I see him, I just kind of look.
Yes.
I don't like how the meso detection clutters the screen.
Yeah. I'm looking back here right now. Thing on correlation coefficient.
Ooh, there's another tornado warning down here in southwestern Arkansas. Ooh, and one near San Antonio, Texas.
All right.
I'm gonna check KWX for really quickly.
Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado warnings at this time.
Mr. Yesh, I'm just gonna call you Mr. Yesh. Most of the tornado warnings right now are in Arkansas. There's one in Oklahoma still, and then there's one in Texas as well. I'm checking on the one in Texas right now. We have one tornado that was confirmed. I don't know if it's still on the ground. National Weather Service says it is. So take that as gospel. It's still on the ground. I'm checking on the one down here near San Antonio. There is a little bit of rotation there. It is just radar indicated, and this storm down here is headed toward Marion at 8:08 p.m. Central Daylight Time, McQueenie at 8:17 p.m., and Seguin at 8:23 p.m. Central Standard Time. I keep forgetting we're in Standard Time now.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back up here because this tornado warning's still on.
We only got 3 here. We got 1 in Texas. We got 4 in Arkansas right now. 5 actually in Arkansas.
And 1 in Oklahoma.
Wait, yeah, well,
5?
4 in Arkansas, 1 in Oklahoma.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, my WSB3 is crapping out.
No, it's just that you got so many right here.
Yeah.
And I just got NexRad on, and it's like you can't see all of them.
Do what?
But this NexRad, you can't see all of them at one time.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, I use MRMS radar for trying to see everything at once. I don't mess with the national radar. It's no good.
I just got the NexRad.
Okay. Yeah, I use NexRad if I'm trying to look at something specific, but if I'm trying to look at the whole nation, I use MRMS.
All right. Magic, I'll move down there since you're close to San Antonio. once I find I got the chat and radar scope on one TV, and I got the curse, everything else on another TV on
Nice.
the laptop.
Sounds very organized.
It is to lose your mouse.
Oh yeah. Are you using it as like a multi-monitor setup?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, this laptop I can. The old one I couldn't even do one.
Is that because you've got a GPU in the one that you got now?
Oh, I got a gaming laptop.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I got an awesome girlfriend.
Yeah.
What's the radar site down here? Where's
All right.
San Antonio?
That debris ball in between Clarksville and Knoxville has gone away. The National Weather Service still says the tornado was observed. I'm going to go to Twitter really quickly and refresh the Little Rock National Weather Service site. They haven't said anything about it, but it is still apparently observed according to WSV3.
Yep. As soon as okay, I'll check Discord just 1 second.
If you're just now tuning in, I apologize for my voice being kind of scratchy and coughing a lot. I'm a little under the weather at the moment. Fortunately, I'm not under this weather, so that's definitely a plus. Just got a bunch of rain here, like a bunch. We've already gotten close to 2 inches, which is odd for this time of the year.
I still can't find it.
Oh, it looks like they extended that tornado watch up into Missouri as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember that being up in Missouri last time I checked. I thought it stopped in like mid-Arkansas. And for those of you who don't understand what these colors mean, red means away from the radar site and green means towards the radar site. So we've got winds here near just south of Clarksville to the south-southeast. We have winds moving away from the radar site and winds moving toward the radar site right next to each other, which indicates a couplet, which means that you likely have rotation. But it needs to be tight, like we see it here near Lamar and near Clarksville. We also see some down here in this tornado warning to the south. And in most of these tornado warnings, you can see at least one spot where that's the case.
Yeah, I'm on the San Antonio tornado warning right now. I really don't see anything down there. It being radar indicated. It may just be because it's so close to, because there's really nothing down that way but San Antonio. But if you are down there, it'll be near Marion at 8:14 p.m., McQueenie at 8:23, Seguin at 8:29. That is Central Standard Time. What?
Do I? We're keeping an eye on this tornado warning right here because this tornado warning has a history of dropping a tornado. They still say this tornado is on the ground. It's confirmed large and extremely dangerous. This tornado warning will expire at 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it is for northeastern Logan and central Johnson counties. Oh, and it actually moved on me. Okay, so the tornado is now radar indicated. Wondering why this one's still here. Maybe they're just letting it expire. Yeah, that makes sense.
They let a bunch of them expire.
Too much stuff
lately.
going on for him to manually expire all of them.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. I see. I got a TVS on that confirmed tornado.
It's no longer confirmed. It's just radar indicated now.
All
right. It still has a nice little couplet. But the debris ball has basically vanished.
Okay. Get that GR2 right here. Yeah, I don't see anything on. Yeah, it still has that nice couplet right there in Clarksville.
Yes, it does. And we're taking a look at correlation coefficient right now. If you guys are watching and you see the HD Doppler radar on top of the screen while I'm looking at these other products, that's not. I'm looking at reflectivity right now, but I typically switch between reflectivity, base velocity, correlation coefficient, and storm relative velocity. So.
Yeah, I've got on GR2. I got all 4 panels pulled up, so it's easier to keep up with them.
Yep. I wish that WSV3 had that feature.
Yeah.
We are quickly here going to take a look at mean estimated hail size.
I can actually put on GR2. Let me get a 3D on this storm. Let me get lift.
Apparently there's no hail here.
There's no hail in it. We'll look at rotation in 3D. There's still some broad area rotation in this storm. Like I said, near Clarksville.
Echo tops in the storm that just produced the tornado at about 40,000 feet.
And that's about perfect for a tornado.
Yep.
Echo tops. I don't see anything on these other two. I just see they're still radar indicated this time. It's like a TVS near Hartfield.
Where's that
at? You see the tornado, Oklahoma.
Tornado warning in Oklahoma or near Oklahoma?
Near Oklahoma.
It's
coming
in like southwestern Missouri. Sorry,
yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah. I'm looking at a TVS marker right now on GR2. Yeah, one tornado warning just was this expired. The severe thunderstorm warning I'm talking about with a TVS marker is in Mena, around Hatfield. Let me see what I tell you what's that on WSV3. WSV3 showing TVS of 8 at this time. We have 2 tornado warnings still in effect for the Arkansas area. In effect for did that thing just get confirmed again?
I think I see where the next tornado is going to happen, or at least the next tornado warning.
Is that the one near me? Mena?
No, it's the one that's following the Blue Mountain track.
Okay. say it was confirmed again. I'm trying.
Still radar
Yes,
indicated on my side.
It just went purple on my side.
Uh,
Northwest a tornado warning for northwestern Logan County in western Arkansas, central Johnson County, and west central Arkansas until 8:45 Central Standard Time. At 7:52, a large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Midway in Logan County, or 10 miles east of Paris, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour directly at the communities. That's that same one, Scranton.
yeah, this is an old text history.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find, but it's showing confirmed again on mine on GR2.
Let me look at.
It's still showing purple. It was red, and I just went purple.
I'm looking at IEM bot.
Yeah, that's a good little bot.
Let's see here. What is this? Little Rock.
It's in radar confirmed.
I still have radar indicated.
Yeah, I still have radar indicated. I don't know why GR2 is keeping it purple.
Yeah, IEM bot has it as radar indicated as well.
Okay.
That's weird.
All right. We still got the one in Texas, the tornado warning down in Texas. I'm going to look at it on GR2. I don't see any anything in correlation. I really don't see anything. No rotation or anything at this time.
Man, I'm just waiting for them to declare this a tornado warning, just to the northeast of Blue Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a couplet.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying Magic. Can you see? Can you see it?
Oh no, I did not mean to open up PowerPoint. Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. Thank you. Texas. Oh, I think you're talking about.
Yeah,
Bill. He said. Somebody in chat said he likes how you say Texas.
Texas. Yeah, I'm from Georgia.
And for any of you guys watching right now, check out Bill's stream too. I'll link it here in the chat.
Yeah. I can't get yours on mine. Oh, I don't have to do that.
Come on, declare this thing a tornado warning already.
Copy link. Yeah, Jacob's live with us also. If y'all don't know Weather Now, he's in our server, and we help each other out on all this. This is his. Let me see if it works. So you're here also with me is Weather Now, also known as Jacob. Hey, this is picked up in San Antonio.
Has it?
Yeah, I've got a small couplet showing on Storm Road is showing pretty good, and then two little small pics on base velocity. I'm gonna get a 3D view of it.
Are you in KWX?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. Let me get a better view on the 3D. No, I'm thinking. I'm looking down in Texas right now. It's getting a little bit better.
Yeah, Sneaky. That's the one that I was talking about earlier. The one that I said is going to get tornado warned. That's the one up near Blue Mountain.
There's a little bit of hell in this, but the rotation is there on GR2. It's a little area right there that's strong.
Gonna take a
No
look
debris
at
ball yet.
that San Antonio one again.
That's what I'm looking at on my stream.
Yeah, no, I know. I want to take a look at the hail size for myself.
3/4 inch at the back, outside the warned area is what it's saying on here.
This warning to the south says that it's got what is that? 0.88 inch hail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a look at mean estimated hail size. Yeah, it looks like there may be some hail falling that's just over an inch, but the vast majority of it's going to be under an inch.
Yeah.
Oh, it got tornado warned. That Blue Mountain one that I was talking about got tornado warned.
Blue Mountain got tornado warning. Let me go back up to that.
Probably helps if I'm not on. There we go.
All right, there we go.
Oh, wow. KSRX only has the 0.5 degree tilt on right now. Oh, no, they got 0.5 and 0.9 now. That's odd.
Yeah. Let me swap OW to C3. Well, 30. I'm still getting a strong couplet right there in Clarksville.
Oop, I just zoomed in way too far.
Let's see here.
Is it up near the north?
Yeah, that one in Clarksville is still got radar warned.
Are you talking about at the north of the tornado warning?
Yeah, I got it right here. The one in Clarksville, the PDS earlier, still got a nice couplet on it. All right. National Weather Service Little Rock issued a tornado warning for northeastern Logan County and western Arkansas, south central Johnston County, and northwestern Yale County in central Arkansas until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 8:21 8:21 Central Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Mount Magazine, or 11 miles south of Paris, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Locations impacted include Knoxville, Midway in Logan County, Motley. I can't hardly see this thing. Ludwig, Coley, Mount Magazine, Mount Nero State Park, Tequila, Havana, Dublin, the Lawrence, New Blaine, Spring Lake Compound. I'll get a 3D view on it. There's some rotation on it, but not much. Very broad.
Dude, look at the storm relative velocity on this Blue Mountain one. It just keeps getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah, I see that. You still on KSRX?
Yeah, I am.
I want to fall for the WSV3.
Oh, I could do without being sick right now.
Yeah.
Starting to get a headache every time I cough.
That, I'm gonna put a track on this. They're not telling me anything. Not giving me any real cities right now. I'm gonna put tracks on it. Oh, James, Blue Mountains in Arkansas. That's where we're at right now with these 2 tornado warnings. We're in Arkansas looking at them. Oh man. Yeah, I had to take some medicine. Uh,
This storm will be at Havana at 8:31 and at London at 9:16 p.m. So if you live in either of those towns, take shelter now because there is a tornado warning. Um,
all right. Um, Spot report of down trees and down power lines north of Highway 22. That's in Logan, Arkansas. Another strong thunderstorm wind blew down a tree on highway number 1 north of Highway 22 in Franklin, Arkansas. And then we got another one right here. Storm report. Um, and also in Franklin, Arkansas, strong thunderstorm wind blew down power lines on Highway 22 north of Cass. We need to watch this down near Mena too. It's getting pretty strong. Mena, Arkansas, do you see it? A lot of TVS markers on it. That one may go warn in a minute, Jacob. Yeah, watching this storm down there, Mena, at this time, It's got some strong damaging winds. It's also got some TVS markers on it. Here, I've probed the winds. Some of 60 mile per hour winds, 40 to 50 to 60 mile per hour winds around this area right here. So if you're near the south of Waldron, north of Mena, you might want to take shelter now from some high, damaging winds that are headed your way. Like I said, there are 40 to 60 mile per hour winds at this moment. New tornado warning has been issued. National Weather Service out of Little Rock has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Johnson County, and western Arkansas, northwestern Searcy County, in north central Arkansas, eastern Newton County, and north central Arkansas, north central Pope County, and northeastern Arkansas until 9:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 1 Central Standard, 8:51 Central Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Rosetta, or 18 miles northeast of Clarksville, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Locations impacted include Western Grove, Piercetown, Carver, Point Peter, Pinefall. Hold on, I can get to another screen. Nobody get it to you correct. It has not come over to Radarscope yet. All right, here we go. Locations impact: Piercetown, Carver, Point Peter, Pendle, Yardell, Crossroad, Hawk Creek, Falls Campground, Deer, Sand Gap, Hasty, Cowell, Mount Judea, Fort Douglas, Bass, St. Joe, Bertha, Dillon, and Eula. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room or the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows if you are outdoors or in a mobile home or in a vehicle. Move to the closest. Protect yourself. This is rare, but it can become confirmed. But right now it's just radar indicated. So I keep losing my mouse. Hey, Jacob.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
I'm gonna mute my mic real quick.
Your mic's not muted. Okay, I think it is now. Okay. Bill, mic's not muted. Somebody should probably tell Bill that his mic's not muted, if they can. This new tornado warning, just for the record, it does have a history of producing tornadoes. It produced a tornado to the south here while we were tracking it near Clarksville. It actually pushed right past, what was it called? I'm trying to find the town. Scranton. It passed right over Scranton and then lifted off the ground as it passed between Clarksville and Knoxville. And now it's moving into, it's really moving to the north-northeast. Excuse me. Big nuclear reactor in Russellville, that's no good. Russellville appears to be just to the north of the path of this storm. It could, well, first of all, it's only radar indicated, so it might not be on the ground. Tomorrow will not be as bad as today, most likely, and the reason for that is the storm will be starting. The storm will continue on overnight, and it won't have quite the energy that it had today. Just as a result of moving over ground that has been radiatively cooled overnight. So you'll get SQTs that don't look quite as steep as the ones that we had today. And because of that, you'll see less supercellular activity in front of these storms.
Get up.
You back?
How about now?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, my mic was muted.
Do what?
Yeah, my mic was muted earlier, I think.
Oh, it wasn't. I could still hear you.
Oh.
At least for part of it. Then I
Okay.
suddenly stopped hearing you.
Oh, okay. Hey, weather 123. Oh, I know how you heard me, Jacob.
Do what?
I still had
You what?
I had it going through Discord on my ear.
Oh, so I could hear you, but they couldn't?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, we still got these two the ones we got now. Just these two. Well, technically three right there.
All right, I think I'm gonna have to hop off you here. I can't. I've got a big headache, and
All right,
anytime I
man.
cough, it gets
Well,
worse.
all right, I appreciate you joining.
Yeah, I appreciate you agreeing to do this. So
Yeah, well, we can do it now, so we'll do it. We can do it next time.
sounds good. Yeah, spring's coming up fast, so
Yeah.
right on, man. We'll take it easy.
All right, you too, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.